Hello everyone, welcome to UPSC CSAT course of Kalam IAS Academy. In this course, we'll comprehensively cover CSAT for UPSC and ensure every one of you clears UPSC CSAT exam easily and with a good margin. I'll introduce you to the plan of the course. This will be a 20 video lecture which will consist of quant and logical reasoning. 20 videos will be approximately 50 minutes to 1 hour each, in which we will try to simplify CSAT preparation for all of you. We will comprehensively cover all the CSAT topic, which includes topics like number system, progression, averages, percentage, profit loss, ratio proportion, time and work, speed, time, boards and stream, algebra, probability, permutation, combination, and also reasoning topics like coding, decoding, blood relation, rank and ordering, puzzles, sequence and series, cubes and dices, etc. Our focus will be to ensure that we do not try to mug up things or rectify formulas. Rather, we'll use reasoning to solve the paper so that with very less efforts we can easily score and practice more and more questions in this course, so that it's very easy to clear the CSAT comprehensively. It will be each video will have some theory material followed by practice questions which are picked from UPSC PYQ questions. At the end of the lecture, you will also be given study material which will be easy revision of whatever you have learned in the video classes, and that study material will also have few practice questions so that you can revise and practice whatever you have learned in the class. So these are the few things which are there in the CSAT paper. There are 54 questions on maths and quant, 26 questions on English comprehension. These 54 questions on mathematics and quant basically tests your speed in solving mathematical questions, and 26 questions on English comprehension are three types. First is passage based, which has one question, passage which has two questions, and passage which has three questions. Generally, passages having one questions are quite easy to solve and you can score easily. Two questions are of moderate level, and three questions are tough. So depending on time, you can attempt them and clear your CSAT paper. Focus in CSAT should be on accuracy, because there are quite good chances if you solve questions correctly, you can easily fetch marks, which is 2.5 marks. Total of 80 questions are there, and you should attempt the paper with decent speed, because number of questions are quite good. We have 80 questions in total which we have to complete in 2 hours, and number of questions that need to be attempted should be high enough so that you can easily clear the cutoff. And you should not prioritize maths over English or English over maths. You should try to attempt both equally so that you can score decent marks in both the sections and clear the cutoff. Again, to solve questions, you should eliminate the options rather than using brute force method, like put the values from the options and solve the question, so that it becomes easy to verify whatever you have done. Now coming to the next part, which is our first topic, that is percentage. This is part of maths topics. We will start with mathematics and then we will move on to reasoning and reasoning topics. The first topic for today is percentage. I hope you have got a fair idea of what is CSAT and how things are covered in CSAT. Let's start with percentage. Percentage in simple words implies the value for every 100 of the number. For example, 7 by 11, 7 divided by 11 as a percentage is represented in the following way. As you can see, 7 into 100 divided by 11 into 100, whatever number is there, if you have to convert in percentage, suppose we have number 44, if you have to convert in percentage, divide by 100, so that you get number implied for every 100. So 7 by 11 becomes 7 into 100 by 11 divided by 100, which is 63.63 divided by 100, 63%. 20% is same as 20 by 100, that is 0.2. As you can see, like 20 by 100 will be 1 by 5, or you can directly see 0.2. There are two main concepts in percentage questions. First is percentage increase and second is percentage decrease. If in a question it is asked like the increase in percentage, it is basically actual increase in the quantity divided by original quantity into 100. And percentage decrease in actual decrease in quantity divided by original quantity into 100. These are just a few simple basic formulas. There is no need to mug them. You can easily recall. As we do more and more questions, you will get a fair idea of how to implement these techniques that we have learned, so that you can easily solve percentage questions. Now we will start with the previous year questions of UPSC. As such, there is not much to be taught in the concept of percentage, because the questions are quite simple and you need to just apply your logic and presence of mind, so that without wasting much time you can easily solve these questions and have good accuracy, because these questions are easy. So we will start with our first question. This is a question from year 2019, wherein first I'll suggest you guys to read the question, understand it, and then we'll start with them. Okay, I hope you have read the question. So it says, when a runner was crossing the 12-kilometer mark, she was informed that she had completed only 80% of the race. How many kilometers was the runner supposed to run in this event? So I'll first explain the question and then we'll try to attempt this question. Here it was said, basically there is a track on which a runner is running. In this question, it is given there is a running track, a person is running on this track. As the person crosses the 12-kilometer mark, the person is informed that 80% of the race is completed. So basically some distance is still to be covered, so that the person completes the race. Now 12-kilometer represents 80% of the total length in which the person has to run, and there is some extra x kilometer that the person has to run, so that the race is completed 100%. Now as it is said, 80% of the track represents 12 kilometer, and suppose the entire length of the track is y, this entire length is y, assuming, so 80% of y, 80% means 80 by 100 of y is equals to 12 kilometers, and we have to find the y, that is how much the person has to run, so that her race is completed. Now let's solve this equation so that we can get the value of y, and that y value will be our answer. Cutting this, and 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12, y will be 3 into 10 by 2 kilometers, that is 15 kilometers. As we can see, B is the correct option, so answer for this question will be 15. I'll just summarize the question again. The runner has to complete her race, and at the 12-kilometer mark she has completed 80% of the race. That means 20% more has to be covered so that she can complete her running entire journey from start to end. As 80% is 12 kilometer, will simply, and assuming the entire length to be y, 80% of y will represent 12 kilometers. So y length will be 3 into 10 by 2, or we can also solve in this way: y is equals to 12 into 100 by 80. On solving, we will get this as 15 kilometers. So answer for this question is 15. I hope this was an easy question and the concept is clear. Let's now move on to the next question. I request all of you to again read the question, understand what it is trying to say, and attempt the question. You'll have 1 minute so that you can attempt yourself, and then we'll continue with this. Okay, I hope everyone has read the question. The first concept here is the mean. Mean is basically average, which represents a set of values in a single quantity. Suppose we have 4 numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4. So mean or average of these 4 number will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 divided by 4. So this question actually involves two concepts: percentage and average. We'll cover average comprehensively in the next lecture. I am just giving you an overview. So in this case, the average value will be 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 divided by 4, that is 2.5. So if a set is given as 1, 2, 3, 4, we can represent this entire set using a single value, that is 2.5. It is known as average value. Now coming back to the question, it says two students, that is student A and student B. It has given data for 4 subjects, that is history, English, psychology, history and Sanskrit, and maximum marks are also given so that we can appropriately calculate the percentage value. Now in the question it is asked difference in the mean aggregate percentage marks of the students. So first we'll calculate the mean value in percentage for student A. So for student A, total marks are 60 plus 70 plus 50 plus 30, that is English, psychology, history and Sanskrit, divided by maximum marks of each subject, 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 50. Adding all these values, we get 210 divided by 350. On solving this, we get the value as 60%. Similarly, let's calculate the average or the mean value for student B. It is 80 plus 70 plus 60 plus 15. 80 plus 70 plus 60 plus 15 divided by the maximum marks, that is 150 plus 100 plus 100 plus 25. Adding all these values, we get 225 divided by 375. which is again 60%. You can just cross check your values with these values. One more thing, in CSAT paper we are not allowed to use calculator, so keep practicing these normal addition, subtraction, multiplication, so that your time speed increases with time and you take less time in solving these questions. Now in the question it is asked difference in the mean aggregate percentage marks of the students, that is student A minus student B in terms of mean percentage, in terms of percentage mean. Substituting these values we get student A mean is 60%, student B also 60%, so the answer is 0, that is D option. I'll again repeat the concept here in the question. It is asked difference in mean aggregate value. Now mean I already explained, it is used to represent single value of a group of set of values. Here we have 4 values of different subjects, English, psychology, history and Sanskrit, and total of all these subjects, which is maximum value, that is 100, 100, 100 and 50 for student A. This is for A. Similarly we will calculate mean for B and then we will get a value in percentage. The difference is asked and in both cases it was 60 minus 60, that is 0. I hope the question is clear to all of you. Let's take another question. Now I would request every one of you again to read this question, understand, attempt it yourself, and then we'll look into this question by solving it again. So if you have a like 1 minute's time, try to attempt this question and then we'll solve it. Okay, I hope all of you have tried attempting this question. In this question, it involves the concept of price, how the price changes with respect to percentage. Now it is said the price that is of an article is decreased by 20% and the new price is increased by 25%. Then what is the net change in the price of the substance or the article that is given in the question? Now suppose the price of the article is X. Now it is said the price is decreased by 20%. Now that means if the earlier price was X, it is decreased by 20%. That means if this value is 100, the new value is 80, that is 20% reduction. So that basically it means 100 minus 20, the new price is 80% of the original price, that is 80 by 100 into X. So the new price is 0.8 of the original price, that is X. Now it is said the new price is increased by 25%. Now our new price is 0.8x and it is given in the question that it is increased by 25%. Now let's find, this is new price 1, let's find new price 2. It is said this price is increased by 25%. Now increment of 25% means it is 125% of the original value, or 1.25 of the original value. Now multiplying this 0.8 into 125 by 100 into x. Now coming here, it is basically 100 by 100 x, that is x. So the original price without any changes was x. Now there are two changes. First, the value is decreased by 20%, and then it is increased by 25%. And as we see here, the new price 1 is 0.8x, and then new price 2 is again x. Now the question asks, what is the net change in the price? So net change is equals to, this is original, this is final. So net change is original, this is net change is final minus original. Here in both the cases it is x minus x. So the answer is 0. There is no net change in the price of the article, which is option A. I'll again summarize what we have done here. First of all, there is an article. Suppose we have a ball and its price is decreased by 20%, and this price is now increased by 25% in the second step. So we have to find, this is original, some value x is the price, and now we have to find the final price which is done after these two operations. And as we saw, in both the cases the price is same, that is x, and in the question it is asked we have to find the net change in the price. So x minus x, basically 0, there is no net change in the price, and the answer is A. Now let's attempt another question. Again I'll suggest you to read the question first, try to understand, and then we'll try attempting this question. I hope everyone has read the question. It says that a student has to get 40 marks to pass in an examination. Suppose he gets 30 marks and fails by 30 marks, then what are the maximum marks in the examination? Let's start in the reverse way. Suppose the maximum marks in the examination is x, that is maximum marks a student can score, and it is said that student should get 40% of X to pass, that is 0.4x. Now suppose as the question it is saying he gets 30 marks and fails by 30 marks, that is score student is equals to 30 and the student fails by 30 marks. That means the student has 30 marks less than the required cutoff, that is 0.4x. That means 30 plus 30 is equals to 0.4x. 30 is the score of the student and 30 is more marks that is required to pass the cutoff, and the cutoff is 0.4x. So let's solve this equation. Solving this, we get 60 by 0.4, 60 by 0.4, that is 600 by 4, 150. That is C option. This was a very simple question. Basically we had to formulate this equation. I'll again explain this. We have to see maximum marks that a student has to score. Let it be X, and then we can formulate this question and easily solve it. To pass the exam, student has to score 40% of X, that is 0.4x. Score of the student is 30 and it is 30 marks less than the required cutoff. We can also formulate in second way. Score of the student is 30 and it is 30 marks than the cutoff. Cutoff is 0.4x and it is 30 marks less than that. This actually is the same equation as this. On solving we will get X equals to 150. So maximum marks is 150. I hope it is clear. Let's now move to the next question. Requesting every one of you to attempt this question also, and then we'll see the explanation. I hope everyone has read the question. It shows the question in the question it is given that there is an order of 19,000 quantity of a particular product from a customer. The firm produces 1,000 quantity of that product per day, out of which 5% are unfit for sale. In how many days will the order will be completed? Now it is said that 1,000 quantity of that product is produced per day. 1,000 is produced per day and 5% is unfit. That means 5% of 1,000 quantity 50 products are unfit to be sold per day. That means effectively 1,000 minus 50, only 950 products are produced per day. Now we have to achieve the order of 19,000. That is, we have to supply 19,000 products to the customer, and we are producing 950 products per day, and we have to find number of days in which this order will be completed. Basically it is a division problem right now. So number of days is equals to we have to, the total supply needed is, the total quantity needed is 19,000 and we are producing 950 per day. So let's solve this. It is 20. So it will take 20 days to complete the order for the customer and ship it. This is C option. I hope this question is clear. We have to first find the number of effective products that are being produced every day. Since 5% is unfit for sale, that is 50 products per day are unfit for sale. So effectively we are producing only 950 products per day which are in a good shape and can be sold to the customer, and number of days now required will be 19,000 by 950, which comes out to be 20 days. I think it was a easy problem, can be easily solved. Now let's move on to the next question. Now again requesting everyone to read this question. This is a bit challenging question, so requesting everyone to pay full attention to the details and solve this question. Okay, I hope everyone has read the question properly and solved the question now, because we have done practice of good amount of questions which are now should come into your habit and you can easily solve them. Now there are two candidates X and Y which have contested in the election. 80% of voters have voted and there are no invalid votes and there is no nota also. That means all the 80% people have voted for either X or Y. X got 50% of the votes and won by 1440 votes. What is the total number of voters in the voters list? We have to find the number of voters. Let the number of voters be X. Now it is said 80% of voters have only voted. That means 20% voters did not vote. Effectively 80% of X voted, that is 0.8x. Now it is said X, the contestant X got 56% of the votes, that is 56% of the voted votes. Since total number of votes that are voted actually is 0.8x, contestant X received 56% of these votes, and so rest of the votes for contestant Y will be 44, because total number of percentage of the votes will be 100%, as there are no invalid votes and there is no option of nota also. So total is, if X is getting 56% votes, Y will get 44% of the votes. So Y is getting 44% of 0.8x. Now it is said X won by the margin of 1440 votes. So that basically number of votes received by X minus number of votes received by Y is equals to 1440. Let's substitute these values so that we can get our answer. Putting these value, we get 56 by 100 into 0.8x minus 44 by 100 minus into 0.8x is equals to 1440. Now take 0.8x outside and 100 also outside. We have 56 minus 44 is equals to 1440. On solving this, we get X equals to 15,000. That means option A. The total number of voters that we assumed to be X in the beginning is 15,000. I'll just summarize this. 20% voters did not vote, 80% of the voters casted their vote. So total number of votes casted is 0.8x, and total number of votes received by X is 56% and Y is the remaining 44%, and difference in their votes is X minus Y, that is 1440. After that, it is a simple equation which on solving we get 15,000 as the total number of voters. Now let's practice another type of question. Again, requesting everyone to first attempt themselves, find the answer out of these 4 options, and then we'll discuss this question. I hope everyone has attempted the question. Now let's solve it. There is a classroom in which we have students from India and we have students from foreign also, and this classroom has few girls and few boys. We have to find the percentage of foreign students which are boys. Now let's assume total number of students in the entire classroom is X. It is said 60% of the total students, that is X, is Indians, and 50% of total students, that is X, are girls. That means 40% of total are foreigners. From this and from this, 50% of total students are boys. Now it is said that 60%, as we saw, 60% are from India and 50% are girls. If 30% of Indian students are girls, now 30% of Indian students, that is 30% of 0.6x, since 0.6x represents students of India, is equals to Indian girls, which on solving we can get 0.3 into 0.6x. Then what is the percentage of foreign students? Now Indian girls, this on solving we get 0.18x, which is Indian girls. So Indian boys will be 0.6 minus 0.818x, that is 0.42x, Indian boys. Now total number of boys is 0.5x. Total boys is 0.5x. As we saw here, out of these total boys, Indian boys are 0.42x, as we saw here. So foreign boys will be 0.5 minus 0.42, that is 0.08x. In percentage, we have to find the percentage of foreign boys in total number of boys, which is basically 0.08 divided by total number of boys. No, we have to find what percentage of foreign students are boys. This means we have to divide by total number of foreign boys divided by number of foreigners, which is 0.4x. We can see from this here, we have to find percentage of boys in foreign students. So this is 0.08 by 0.4x, that is 0.08 by 20. So percentage of foreign students as boys is 20. I hope the question is clear. Now we will do another form of question. Requesting everyone to attempt this question and then we will solve it. I hope everyone has attempted the question. Let's see the question. It says it is basically the price of rice and how it changes and how it affects the person, the amount of quantity the person is buying. let's assume the old price of rice X. Now there is a 25% hike in the price of rice per kg. So new price, since it is 25% hike, that is 25% of X, the new price is 1.25x. Now it is said the total amount of money the person has is 12,000. Total money is 12,000 and he has to purchase 6 kg less because of hike in the price. So we have to find the original price X. Now suppose originally the person was able to original price was X, so the amount the person was able to buy originally is equals to the total budget 12,000 divided by the price. Now the amount with the new price the person can buy is the total budget he has with the new price, that is 1.5x, and in question it is said he has to buy 6 kg less rice because of hike in the price. So let's subtract the amount original minus amount new, which is equal to 6. 12,000 by X minus 12,000 by 1.25x is equals to 6. Let's solve this. Taking 12,000 as common and even X as common, we have 1 minus 1 by 1.25 is equal to 6, which is 12,000 by X 1 minus 4 by 5 equals to 6. Coming this side, 12,000 by X into 1 by 5 equals to 6. This will become X coming cross multiplying 12,000 by 5 by 6. This comes out to be 40. 2,000 and then 5 divided by 2,000 is 40. So the answer is 40, original price of the rice per kg. I hope this was a simple question. Let's move to the next question. This is the final question. This is a lengthier question which checks your multiple knowledge and also some kind of English comprehension, because the language of question is quite long, so it might confuse you, but just try to attempt it with a cool mind. You can easily solve it. I hope everyone has read the question. It says Anita's maths test had 70 problems of equal marks. It has 10 arithmetic, 30 algebra and 30 geometry questions. She answered 70% of the maths arithmetic question, 40% of algebra and 60% of the geometry problems correctly. But she did not pass because she got less than 60% marks. The number of more questions she would have to answer correctly to earn a 60% passing marks. Now passing marks is 60% and total number of problems are 70 problems. So basically she has to solve 60% of 70, that is 42 questions correctly, so that she can pass. Now let's see how many questions she solved correctly. There are total of 10 arithmetic, 30 algebra and 30 geometry questions. She solved 70% of these correctly, 40% of algebra correctly and 60% of geometry correctly. That is 70% of 10 is 7 questions, that is 70 by 100 into 10. 40% of 30 is 12 questions correct, that is 40 by 100 into 30. And 18 questions correctly for geometry, that is 60% of 30. On solving we get 7, 12 and 18. So total number of correct questions is equals to 7 plus 12 plus 18. She solved 37 questions correctly. So number of more questions is equals to 42 minus 37, that is 5. She has to solve 5 questions more to solve to pass the exam. I hope the concept of percentage is clear. We solved 10 different types of problems from the past year questions, and this is more or less the pattern UPSC follows in the topic of percentage. And all the varieties of the questions have been covered from the percentage topic. You'll get study material also separately, which will have more practice questions in case you need to practice, but I think these 10 questions are enough for practicing, and you can once again try these questions on yourself, so that your percentage as a topic is completed and you can easily solve the questions. If you have any queries, you can get back to us. Thank you.